Hello, everyone. Welcome to Turn Zero Loss, hosted by the Magic Engineers. My name is Eli. I'm joined today by our constant hosts, David and Cherry. And today, we're going to be discussing something that is a little bit overdue, but still needs to be discussed at some point. What we're discussing is play boosters. So, for those of you that aren't aware, somehow, if you're still living under a rock, play boosters are a new type of product that is being released by Wizards of the Coast. They are meant to be somewhere between set boosters and draft boosters, where it's a sort of open up and do something with it, but you can't really do a whole lot with it. To explain that further, I'm going to pass it off to someone else who knows a little more about it. Just kind of open it up to one of you guys to complain about this, because I have so many complaints about it, I don't even want to start.
So let's kind of start from the beginning.
Yeah, let's break it down a little bit.
Yeah, break it down, please.
So the root of this, the entire thing is when they decided to include set boosters for a better opening experience. And as set boosters have become a thing, they've slowly started killing the draft. Draft is still something they like to make and play for, but the issue is that with there being less so, therefore in a natural capitalistic world, they'll eventually get phased out just based on the finances alone, because they cost basically the same to produce as set boosters from that end, but they're not making any money off it. So why make it? So starting in Murders at Karlov Banner, play boosters will replace both set boosters and draft boosters for basically the non-collector booster aspect of it. So instead of 15 cards, there are going to be 14 cards with one non-playable and then 8 different slots. So it's kind of like set boosters. So it's 6 commons, 1 common card or a card from the list, 3 uncommons, a wild card, which can be anything, and then a rare mythic, and then a foil of any rarity, and then a basic land, and then a non-playable card. Art cards. So art, add, and tokens and play aids. So which is kind of unfortunate because I do really, really love the art cards, but I actually think it's a step in the right direction as making it a little bit more simple, whereas you just buy one and you have the increased chance of getting rares from set boosters, but you also can draft them. Not as easily, I will mind you, and that's, I assume, what David's going to complain about.
Oh, yeah.
But I do believe that it's the way that they can keep around non-collector boosters, because collector boosters they're always going to keep, straight up. They make so much money that say that they're ever going away would be ridiculous. But I think it's good. Mostly, I don't love it, but and also considering the fact that getting anything from the list is going to be basically extremely hard now, even though it was already really complicated anyways.
It is no longer called the list, by the way, just for a fun little fact. They're now called special guests.
No. Special guests are different.
They are?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Special guests are almost equivalent to a bonus sheet, but not a bonus sheet.
This is lame.
Yes. Yeah. So here's a percentage breakdown on the list, because it is still called the list.
Oh, I see it now. Yep.
It is 87.5% chance for a common from a main set, and then 9.38% common or uncommon from normal printing, reprint from the list, 1.56% rare or mythic normal reprint from the list, and 1.56 a special guest from the list. So these special guests, I think, are very close to, not Jurassic Park cards, but close to, there was a card in New Capenna that was outside the set, but you could still open it in the art form. It was a old commander card that was in Bane. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But
So
I think it's more close to that. It's just
essentially the special guest cards, from what I'm reading, is that they're quote unquote excited reprints that we can give new art and thematically tie into whatever set they're in. So it's basically, it's going to change from set to set. It's not going to be consistent like the list usually has been. And it's arbitrary as to what cards they can include.
Okay. So
I'm gonna get into some of my bugbears with this, if you don't mind, because
Yep.
So first of all, I will say that having this specific breakdown of cards like the 6 guaranteed commons, the common/list, uncommons, etc., tends to lead to feel bads when you get a card from the list. Like, say you're drafting Khans of Tarkir, and all of a sudden you find it like a Colossal Dreadmaw as a list card. Like, okay, is that legal? Is that not legal? Like, you bring in all sorts of questions with that. And let's not even consider if it's some ridiculous behemoth card like Ulamog or something like that.
Yeah, how does this affect the draft environment? Are you able? Is it legal to use them in draft? Because at some point I realized that, like, I know in the draft boosters for OB1 there was chances of like multiple mythics being in the same pack for some of the packs, and in that case, the person that drew that pack was like, "Oh, well, I'm guaranteed to take one of these, so I'm just gonna." And then the next person also got the same, so it leads to a point where if you draw from the list, you get like a super uber powerful card from outside the set. This is just you're drafting that for value at this point, because how does it? Do they plan to synergize it with the draft environment?
Yeah, it's hard to really say what they're going to do with it. Another big problem that I have with this set or this layout is the fact that there are only 13 playable cards. I don't count the basic land because most of the time
There
draft
for
the basic lands.
Yeah, it's 14.
Yeah, it's
So
14.
13, 13 are playable.
But I consider it
13, not including the land. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was like, wait a minute, there are 14 slots. But
it's not really a slot is the problem. Like, because it's literally just taken up with a card that you can get from anywhere. Unless you're playing like an unstable draft in which the artwork does matter, then, you have 13 cards. Your draft pool is already so much more limited. And that's not even including the fact that if you get like list cards, like that could be as low as 12 if they decide to ban these. And that really sucks.
Which I don't think they're going to ban any of the list cards, in my opinion, in a draft environment. It's kind of hard to regulate a draft.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, though, is that it's so hard to regulate. And there's not enough curation in that list because the list is like probably several hundred cards long.
So I think they're actually going to do an overhaul. I think I had heard somewhere that they are going to do an overhaul of the list and make it a little bit more friendly to a draft environment, that they're going to actually kind of pair cards with the list to the draft environment. So they're not like, or just have genuinely good cards where it's like let's say it's Land War Elves, like that can phase into almost any draft environment. Something that's like more like it could be like utility or work in the environment.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's just too much room for it to go wrong with the design. Like there's just too many list cards that don't synchronize with a lot of the new set's mechanics that could go in there. So you basically have another dead card if you pull it and it doesn't match up. So that could be as low as 12 cards potentially, which means that your card pool is limited, which means that what you consider playable, like the quality of the playable, has to go down, which is a very bad feeling.
On top of all of that, the cost of these packs are actually higher than a regular draft pack.
They're higher than set boosters.
Yeah, no, they will be close. They'll be identical to set boosters.
Okay.
Which even there
will be more packs in the booster boxes. So
how many?
It'll be 36.
Okay, so just a normal draft booster box then.
Yeah. which is set boosters were 24, I believe.
Yeah, but I still don't like the idea of raising the cost of draft even higher.
Yes,
because that means game stores are going to have to because it already costs like $15 to do a draft these days, because you got to get the packs, you got to pay for price support, and then you're probably going to buy some other stuff at the shop. Like you're looking at a $25, $30 day, which is fine. Like, I don't think that's that bad price wise, but
I don't like that it's increasing, but at least they're not charging more than a set booster. Like I'm more of like, Wizards could do a lot more evil things than what they're doing. They're
with
basically
the price curve, I guess.
Yeah. They're basically cutting out the thing they didn't make money on to try to save the draft environment. Because financially it wouldn't have worked out. Like draft boosters were gone very away.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
But I don't know. I question the design of these pretty hard, because I still don't think they're going to solve the problem with set boosters, which is like you don't buy them expecting to play them. But in that case, like you're basically going back to one booster, two if you count collectors, and that's fine. Like I actually think that's a good thing, but I think the implementation needs to be just draft boosters. because that leads to overall better quality play experiences. And I worry R&D hasn't really tested this as much as they claim they have.
Yeah, they're adhering too much to collectors again. It's like the people that want to crack packs for fun. And I understand that that's a good profitable environment for them to adhere to, but it's going to be affecting the play style of people that want to actually draft these and the availability at that, because what could end up happening is that people are buying the packs just to crack them, and there's not going to be any availability for people to be able to buy the packs for a draft.
I don't think that'll be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That seems like a kind of a non-issue to me.
It feels like it would be a non-issue. I'm not sure though. We don't know because it hasn't happened yet.
I will say that I think it'll be, I think this move is very beneficial actually for LGSs, because they don't have to buy two types of product and have to sell both types of product. Because I think that was also a big problem too.
Well, they gotta buy three types of product, because they're definitely buying for
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It reduces the amount of things they need to buy. And being an LGS, I think especially in this modern time of LGSs having to buy every single set, which is like literally monthly or daily or hourly at sometimes. But I think this is a step towards the right direction. I'm not saying it's a perfect solution, but I feel like once set boosters existed, we were never going back to draft boosters. There was no way. The same thing with collectors. Once collectors were game a thing, Magic started moving in a different direction.
I mean, I'm not opposed to this move, kind of combining the two of them. I actually think that's totally fine. But the way it's done to me, I think makes an overall worse draft environment in most situations. And there's no reason, I just don't get it. Like, why do we need to have one of the 14 playable slots dedicated to land? I don't understand that. That kind of bothers me. Like, why not just have an extra card? Like, just have another common.
I think part of it was that they were trying to remove chaff, because based on what I'm reading is that they wanted to reduce the number of common cards, which basically means that vanilla creatures are probably going to disappear from existence, like ever being printed again.
Rip.
But I'd say it's probably, but it could happen. But they reduced the number of commons, and they've kind of like balanced out the number of commons and uncommons. Actually, there are more uncommon cards now than common cards, which is interesting. But
Rip my 2/2s for 2 though, for real. Bless up.
Yeah, plus up.
But they wanted to make it bad. Like they didn't, because at the end of any draft, you're throwing away these cards.
Well, yeah.
So it's like realistically, the last card of every draft, you're not going to use unless you're lucky. So what's kind of one less card?
I mean, but it's not one less card in a standard draft though. It's 3. And that does matter.
Yeah. I don't quite know how this is. I don't know if it's going to become like a 4-pack draft or whatever it's going to be a 3-pack draft or.
Yeah. There's just no nice solution to it. Cause I think a 4-pack draft is too much, and you're already asking players to pay for more to draft anyways. Adding a 4th pack to that is just like, okay, all your drafts are now $20. And that kind of sucks.
Maybe this is a way for them to power up limited, but in a more subtler way, because you have more uncommon cards and more rares in the environment, but and less commons. Maybe this is their way of like balancing the fact that it's like you have less chaff, but you also have more powerful cards.
I mean, a certain amount of chaff needs to exist in any draft environment to make it viable. So the whole idea of draft chaff to me is like, okay, that's just you building a good draft environment. If there's chaff, yeah, there's definitely cards that are better than others, but at least you have an idea as to what the power ranking looks like. Even some of the best draft formats have clear power spikes in some of their cards.
Yeah, it's like the clear cards that you want to have for a draft that are like obviously right there, like especially for the uncommon slot.
Yep. Like for cons, you always pick up Siege Rhino if you see it. Always. Doesn't matter if you're playing those colors, you're picking it up.
It's always junk. You're always playing junk. But I think we just really can't say. I think we were going like, as much as we don't want to spend money on a game that like just constantly asks for it, I think we'll actually have to draft, and that might be a future video of us doing our first draft with play boosters and a set that I don't want to play, but I think we still should.
What, you're telling me you
Murders
don't
of
want to
Karlov
play?
Manor.
You telling me you don't want to play Murders at Karlov Manor? The
We
mystery?
definitely want to play the clue set. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a clue set, man. Come on.
No,
Yes,
no.
that's
He
like
actually
nuts.
wants to play Universes Beyond Fallout.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
Yeah.
True.
He was really insistent on it.
But we have until February to make that choice, so we got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Besides
So-
that, I think it's going to be kind of we'll put a pin on it, see how we feel about it when it actually comes out. Maybe watch some videos and other people drafting it. If we want to draft it ourselves, we will. And then we can make a reevaluation of it in the future. Maybe we come back here and be like, wow, we were so wrong. Or wow, Sherry was
so right. I like that second one a lot better.
So
So
listen, I'm not overly optimistic, but I am trying to be as fair as I can.
Of course, of course, of course.
Wizards has not earned that for me. I think I'm kind of lukewarm towards it. The rest of you guys are for it in that case, or
We'll see.
I would say a soft 4. I think it's going to benefit not us. I think it's going to benefit the LGSs more than it really benefits us, which I'm always game for.
On a scale from 1 to 10, I am a wet noodle on this one.
I'm Resident Evil out of 10 on this one.
Which one?
I'm
Which
a
Resident Evil?
art
Yes.
card out of 10. I'm sad that it's going to be hard to get art cards now. I do love
Boo.
them.
Yeah, that too.
That's I'm pretty bummed out about that.
That does kind of suck.
I want the visuals of each of our ratings just to come up with just like a limp noodle of Resident Evil logo, and then just a random art card. You choose your favorite one, Sherry.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys send me the photos that you guys want to use for your own, and then I'll put.
All right,
Gotcha.
I'll find them right now. It'll be quick. Hold on.
Okay. You want to take us out, David?
Yeah. So that was our discussion on play boosters. We have feelings about them. Whether or not we're going to be vindicated, or more specifically, I'm going to be vindicated on these feelings, is yet to be determined. But we'll let you know if we are. So thanks for watching this particular episode of Turn Zero Loss. Feel free to follow us on X/Twitter. Subscribe, like, comment, do the goobly goo on the thing below.
I will say that X is looking worse and worse as every day
Boy.
passes.
Every day it gets more and more degenerate. That's why you should follow, because I'm gonna start posting some real degenerate shit on there. And we're
Oh,
gonna see how
boy.
it turns out.
Actually, we should start opening a Substack. That's what the cool people are doing nowadays.
Now
Sub-
OnlyFans
a
for us.
A sub what?
Substack. It's
I don't
like
know what
it's like
that is.
mini blogging.
Oh, I'd rather open an OnlyFans than do that.
Oh yeah, follow us on OnlyFans and Patreon.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Our sub cost is $90 a month.
But you get to see our faces. So
And our feet. And our
And our
feet.
feet.
no feet. That's on our only feeds.
Okay, fine.
Oh.
That's $180 a month.
That's my wet noodle image. Have fun.
Wow. And to make them work more, at least I'm gonna make mine transparent at least. Jeez.
Nope. I want it to be as weird looking as possible. Anyway, magic is dead.
Magic is in fact dead. Thank you for watching.
I
She just left. You didn't end the recording.
Yeah, come on, man. What you doing?
No, it's different. You didn't end the recording. You fuck. Just, oh
I
my
did
God.
not know you could do that.
no, I could leave.
You can
Oh.
still record. God damn it.
I did not know that. I clicked the wrong one.
Oh, nice little blooper to end the.
Blooper, I hardly know her.
Oh.
Da, 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 da.
Um,
Okay, end the episode.